Okay, so yeah, we're gonna fast forward a little bit. Waterlily, you do use your powers on Rant to shut down some of his more active abilities, which allows Rant to spend some time without the pressure of having abilities like he has, which I assume affects him in some sort of way. Um,
Yeah, it does.
but that takes a couple of hours, or just sort of mostly chill time. Like I said, we're going to fast forward into Friday night at NovaCon. All the panels, all of the event, all of the sort of the more family friendly events are dying down. Now it's the more sort of nightlife, some concerts, some dances, bit more like costume contest sort of stuff. A bit more showy and more fun time events are going on. So we'll go around the room now that you all have complete free time and no obligations, and just a con full of people who are socially conditioned to adore you. Um, Liberty Lad, what are you up to on NovaCon after dark?
Um, I would see if that representative from the Aeon Society, was it Abigail Larson was the one who was talking about the new American Novel team, or was it Thea Yanis?
Yeah, Yanis was the one from um, Balance
Aeon Society?
Industries.
Okay.
Abigail Larson is the Aeon Society person. If you want to try and get in touch with either of them, you can certainly give someone a phone call.
Oh, so they're not at the event?
I not the Aeon Society does not have a booth here. Neither does Balance Industries. They might be there in another capacity, but they don't. Neither of those institutions has like official capacity here.
All right. Um, I mean, I could just shoot off a text as well to be like, hey, what want to hear what's the next step on this team? What kind of benefits is it we're going to provide, particularly any sort of tech or uh, power enhancement, and
Uh,
what would it mean for my team?
so you are sending a message to Thea
Yeah.
Yanis.
No,
Yeah,
no. It was it Abigail was the one who
Abigail works
offered
for
me
the
the
Aeon
job?
Society, which is not the people who are running this new Nova team, which are the
Yeah.
people who
Okay.
are
So it's
behind Project
thank you.
Utopia.
Thea
Thea
Yanis.
Yanis works for Balance Industries, who are putting together the new
Excellent.
Nova team.
Too many bitchy corporate people for me to.
Fair enough.
Just
So
kidding.
so you're going with Thea?
Yes, please.
Okay, you send her a message, and it takes only a couple minutes to get a response back. Um, she says, "Yeah, absolutely. We don't have a like a booth or anything at Novacom. But we do have a private party that we're running later tonight. I can certainly
Ah,
get you
shit.
involved in that if you want to talk
Hell
business."
yeah. We'll put hell yeah.
So she's like, "You're on the list," and she sends you like the list of a hotel room. That's like one of the more it's one of the party suites essentially in one of the hotels, the host hotels.
Yep. Um, as a reminder to all the PCs and stuff, that Novacon is surprisingly neutral territory. All the big groups have representation here, but it's considered like no one faction has a controlling stake in the Novacon because it's about being a Nova and Nova culture. I believe it's in network
Yeah,
is
Ncast is like the organizing entity behind
yeah.
it, which all Novas use Ncast to one stripe or another. It's kind of the thing that everyone uses in the neutral ground that everyone plays with. So Novacon is kind of their thing, and they have enforced neutrality and nonviolence. They've hired like elite security. So there's people here who probably were in Afghanistan a couple of months ago, but are now doing con security. So note that. But yeah, so yeah, you have that invite to that party in an hour or so. What about Fawn? What is Fawn up to at late night NovaCon?
Probably being a fish out of water.
Okay.
I don't have Sovereign to cling to, who usually drags me into shit. I don't have Aterrados to cling to, who drags me into shit, and I don't know what Rant's doing. I have no idea what Fawn is doing right now.
Okay. Well, let's move over to Rant then to see what Rant would be doing at the night, and maybe you can tag along on that. Rant, what would you be up to?
So this is Friday night
Yeah.
at NovaCon. I think Rant is probably so done with everything that he's just like, you know what would be nice is a drink, some lads around, and relax. So Rant's trying to find like a small party that he can just go to and have it be low key. And sadly, it will probably not stay low key, but that's his goal.
Fantastic. Yeah, you can absolutely find a party. There are room parties and con parties. It's like Dragon Con before the squares took over. Yeah, you can find yourself a small, out of the way, kind of intentionally low key affair to get yourself into. Fawn, would you tag along to something like that?
Only if he invites Fawn. Fawn
If-
wouldn't interpose on Rant like that, especially if he's
I notice
done.
that you're kind of holding back, I'd be like, hey, come with me. It would be a lot of fun. I'll keep, we can hang out together. We can talk to some people. It'll be lovely.
Okay, and then she would happily go, but she wasn't going to ask.
Cool. All right. Well, what about Waterlily? What's Waterlily up to after dark?
Virginia's in a very unique position right now of finally not feeling completely like she's sticking out because it is such an acclimatized Nova zone.
Mm-hmm.
And like there's cosplayers and there's people in outfits. It's like you were saying, walking down the street in a con and just seeing costumes. So I think she's just gonna, for the given value that she can, she's just gonna walk around, blend in, and enjoy feeling not like the green lady in the room for a bit.
Cool. All right. Yeah. And that is a thing that you can do. There are plenty of green and blue and various other colors. Some of them are, a small number of them come about it naturally, but there are many people here who are in cosplay of, not only like people dressing up as Novas themselves or like their OC Nova. So you are not sticking out in any way amongst this throng.
Yeah, it's NovaCon also has a surprisingly high density of actual Novas.
Mhm.
So this is one of the few places you can actually meet Novas of a large amount of them. Like they're all over the place. Some are elites, some are Terrigens, some are Utopia, some are independents, or they have some other minor affiliations that they're a part of. Like what's the space one again?
Daedalus League.
Daedalus League. Yep.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think legit, like there's a point of, sitting and listening to lobby karaoke or like hanging out. I think at a certain point she'll send a selfie over to Tank.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's like finally getting out, taking a picture.
Sometime during that evening festivities, you find a text message from Alexander on your phone, Waterlily.
There is a long pause.
There is not much, or you're not saying much, other than you need to be aware of this, and he links you to a couple articles, and they all have pictures, but the most prominent that stand out is a picture of Schwarzschild and confronting Aterrados in the middle of the uh, dealer's room, and the title of the article kind of says it all. In that it says Terrigen sympathies ? And if you read farther, the context is this was some sort of encounter where Schwarzschild apologized to Aterrados for various things.
Oh boy. And she'll basically like pass back the message to Alexander of the just keeping me in the loop ?
Yes, but something for you to keep an eye on. This will not be easy to deal with.
What do like again dot while she's typing of the I thought we were supposed to be able to at least talk to each other. What do we need to watch out for here now?
The response from the text is just be mindful, cameras are everywhere.
And we are representing, is the reply.
Yeah.
Understood. She will
Okay.
also then send him the selfie.
Okay. Yeah. He double clicks. There's a quick thumbs up emoji that appears under the image. Yeah. So let's head off to Rant and Fawn's party. I think you guys make it there. It's not a it is low key. But because Rant, you are a well-known musician, and that makes it very easy for other Novas to know of you, especially since you talk a lot about Nova culture. And so you're actually invited up to a kind of interesting suite, um, because it's a party inside a party. In that, you come inside, and in this suite, there's a couple people, but in the middle of the room, there is this elaborate sort of, lack of a better term, a gate, a archway in the middle of the room. And within a few moments of you entering, and you're like, huh, what's that gate? It glows a little bit, and a couple people come through, and they're like, they were wearing spacesuits. And then they take them off when they're in the room, and they're like, wow, that was amazing. And they just get drinks and start talking about their experiences.
That looks amazing. Fawn, did you just see that? Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. We need to do that. Who do we have to talk to about going
Well,
into space?
Do you know where it goes?
Right now I don't care. That just looks cool.
It could be dangerous.
Okay, point taken, but you've got to take a few risks in life, and they're in spacesuits. They just went through a portal. I'm willing to try it.
Yeah, they you start talking around. Scott, give me a good name.
Cyrus Kartak.
Cyrus Kartak. Yeah, so Cyrus Cyrus is there. He is an Asian Nova, an American Asian Nova. Um, uh, and he is known because he's kind of the guy sort of directing and like controlling the archway. And he's interesting because his eyes are he's human looking, except for his eyes are sort of these silvery orbs. um and then he immediately calls you guys over and goes, hey, you're Rant, right? And Fawn,
Yes.
correct? Oh, excellent. Thank you for coming. I appreciate it. I heard from Janet down the way that you were interested in a party. I know this isn't like your normal thing, but we thought this would be really interesting to show people like you. And you, and he looks to Fawn. Um this is our gateway. This is sort of a little hush hush experimental thing we've been working on. It lets you it connects to another gate in our orbital space station right now,
What?
where you can go to space and then get in a suit if you want to go to do a quick spacewalk and come back.
Yes. Yes. Look, there's not too many things that fluster me or excite me like this, but yes, absolutely, 100%. Fawn, get in a suit. We're going. This is amazing.
I don't think I'd fit in a suit.
We can work on that. Our other my coworker, Angelos, is on the other side. I'm sure he can figure something out real quick. He's kind of the main architect of the archway and the gateway and the sort of suits you'll be wearing. So I'm sure he can figure something out.
Do you want to do it? If you're scared, that's totally understandable. But
yeah, go out, do it, and come back. We'll have drinks ready for you.
Okay.
That's the not enthusiastic consent, and that's what I look for from my friends whenever I'm doing anything. So
Well, I can't let you go by yourself.
it'd be fine. But I would like you to come because I think it would be something that would be amazing that you would enjoy.
Okay.
Okay, again, not enthusiastic consent, so I'm a little hesitant here.
If we're going, let's go.
All right. Ask 3 times. That's the limit.
Okay. Oh, just give me a second. He sort of fiddles with a few switches and knobs. He looks at you like he's like analyzing or engaging you. Sorry, I have to kind of like sync it up with your natural quantum fields. If it's not, it gets a little fuzzy, and you may end up in Nova Scotia or something.
Oh, I don't want that. I've
No,
hated
no.
Nova Scotia.
Yeah.
Aw.
So he does that, and then it whirs to life. He's like, "All right, go, go, go! You only has limited power."
So
You guys
Rant will
head on through.
grab Fawn's hand and say, "Come on."
She'll go. She's not fighting you.
You sort of get just immediately, sort of when most of your mass is through, you kind of get this really quick sucking feeling like you're being pulled, and you get popped through, and on the other end, you immediately become weightless. You're in this really well lit area. There is no obviously gravity, but there is a person who's kind of floating upside down at you. Goes, "Oh, you must be the 2 other attendants." And he looks at like his phone, like his watch, which is obviously like more like a smartwatch, and he looks at you. "Oh, you're Rant and Fawn, right?
Yep, that's
Yes.
right.
Pleasure to meet you. Please come this way. Come this way." And he sort of, I know it's going to take a moment to get used to this, but you'll acclimate quickly enough. And he sort of rights himself by just like pushing off against sort of the walls of the station, and then he sort of then quickly clicks on his boots, and they magnetize to the floor. And then sort of then he comes over and helps you guys and rights you so you're oriented to like he is. And he's like, "Okay, so we have some very basic suits. These will give you these will protect you from various radiation. These will provide air for at least 30 minutes, just for safety. If once you leave, you'll have 15 minutes out, and then I want you back no later than 20 minutes. I'm assuming you all need life support.
Yes.
Okay, okay,
Will
okay, good.
will those fit around Fawn's horns though?
I'm gonna have to work on that. Give me a minute. And he sort of,
It's okay if it can't. I mean, I'm here.
no problem. I love a good challenge. Don't worry about it, Fawn. This guy is he's obviously of like sort of like Spanish or Latino descent, and he sort of moves around. He doesn't have any obvious aberrations or any sort of transformations on him, but he definitely has the eye and the demeanor of probably being a Nova. And he unclicks his boots, moves off to where, and then he starts like going through all his various equipment that he's got, and he's like, horns, 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 and he sort of starts moving some stuff around and going, can you come here, Fawn?
I try.
So, do you have any mega dexterity?
No.
Okay.
Hell no.
So, and you don't have a terrible amount of athletics, so it does take you a moment to sort of move your way over to him because you are used to kind of just, gravity walking doesn't work here. You have to push off something to get going in a certain direction, and you can't change your trajectory once you start that way.
Right.
But you make it over to him, and then he sort of helps you, guides you in, and then he quickly like pulls out a few tools, very simple tools, nothing invasive, and just sort of measures your horns. And he looks at it and goes, "Oh, what's that?" And he sees the apparatus that's on your horns.
Oh, this is a thing to help me block out a lot of my heightened senses. I can't really turn them off.
Oh, I may just have to take them off because I don't know what that is, and I definitely don't want it interacting with whatever I make.
I guess I'll put them in my pocket.
Let me have them. Let me have them on the station. It should be okay. And he Is it okay?
I don't know. They said it was experimental.
Well, that's even better reason not to have them while you're on a spacewalk.
Mm. Okay.
He comes up, gingerly takes them off. He puts them in a little container and then puts it in the wall. It's like, yeah, they will be right here when you get back. Ah, that's
Uh,
much better.
I can
As you,
definitely see like Fawn's eyes get wider as basically she's comprehending the nothingness.
yeah, actually,
Yeah.
it's
I will
ahead.
say, like, your sense of like life around you is like there the number of like microbes and like microflora and just general life around you. It's just you don't feel almost anything around you.
Fawn looks absolutely terrified.
Oh, are you okay? Is everything all right?
There's she's kind of looking around slightly in a panic. There's nothing out here.
Yeah, it's space. Yeah, of course. And that's
I
kind of the point. It's vast.
there's no life. There's nothing.
Well, there may be life out there, and he sort of points to a little portal that obviously is open to seeing the Earth in its curvature and like the blue glow that it gives off.
Fawn does not seem reassured.
Are you still okay with this?
I just no. No, I can't do this.
Okay, okay, that's fine. You can if you can. Unfortunately, we're not scheduled to open the gate back up for another 30 minutes or so. So, and we
That's
can't just.
fine. I need those back.
Oh,
I'll be over here in the corner.
okay, sure, not a problem. He he gives you the case back with the tech in it, and he's like, "Well, Rant, you still all right to go do this?"
I am. I need to check on Fawn real quick, and then I'm absolutely on board.
Right, and we will cut away to Liberty Lad as you make your way up the elevator to sort of a penthouse suite at one of the hotels, and you get flagged in by security into a very, very different party. This is USA corporate, you know, cocktails and kind of lame boomer music being played.
Okay.
It is
I
very,
was worried it was
very
going to be like an Eyes Wide Shut thing.
no, no,
Not yet.
no. This is very much like corporate meeting at a con kind of thing. People are dressed more casually than they would be at work, but not what you would consider like at a con casual. And just there's mostly older people here, just sort of talking, sitting in some of the couches. There's like a large balcony that overlooks the city, and sort of the convention area. Down below you see like throngs of people crossing the street as traffic is getting like backed up for miles, because of the massive amount of people here. And you see Yanis there, out on that balcony, sharing a cocktail with someone in a military outfit. He's like, Liberty Lad, thank you. Please come out. Come here. You're not of legal age. Let's get you a soda then.
Oh, I'm fine. I don't need anything. I'm just here to, quickly talk some business, and then I can leave you alone.
Oh, but you're more than welcome to stay and enjoy the party. We've got some great food. We've got drinks. Obviously, we'll get you taken care of. But yeah, so you had some questions. I'd love to answer them.
Well, I'm just like, what kind of advantage? Or I really hope that you're staying away from the whole animal thing. I mean, are you? Is that still part of the plan right now?
It's still one of the options under review. It's not really. We haven't had an opportunity to really go through the nuts and bolts of it, but it's still an option on the table. Am I getting that that's kind of a no go for you then?
I mean, I mean, as I said before, I think it's going to be a bad, just bad optics for you all. Has she sent me anything about that? Like any of
Um,
the info or no?
uh, You've had some follow-up information about the team and the project. It's not much. It's just sort of like, kind of blue sky organization. It seems like they're having some trouble given the disruptions that they've had of moving forward in their plans. So it's you get the impression that it's kind of a back burner project at the moment. But it's like, yeah, no. So we're investigating multiple options. A lot of people are really on board with the animal project just because it's fewer frontline human risk. So that's very attractive to a lot of people. With a couple of Novas handling, the major, sort of the PR and those sort of things, whereas the majority of the combat detail would be offloaded onto the animal team members. But we are also looking at a more traditional, 5 or 6 member team option.
And has any consideration been to the rest of my group, or maybe a few of them, or?
Well, I mean, we can certainly have some conversations in regard. I think of your group, I think you really fit our model more than anything. It's just, you've chosen patriotism. You've chosen to put stars and stripes front and center in your image, and we don't really get that impression from the most of you. I mean, if you don't mind me asking, is your team, do you consider it to be a long-term thing, or is it a stepping stone?
That's a good question. I guess I've never really thought about. Well, I mean, I don't know. You always are one. I'm always worried that continuing would be a sideways move. But I mean, I'm always looking at what's best. I do have my obligations though to Project Utopia. They have treated me quite well. So
Absolutely.
if anything went forward, I would always try to look at and I could still be continuing my relationship with them while doing that, perhaps some sort of partnership.
That's not off the table. I think we can certainly arrange that if you wanted to maintain a relationship with Project Utopia. That's certainly something that our legal teams can try and work out to make sure that, contracts and regulations are all set and squared. It's just, we really think that since the initiative, the Flag Bearers Initiative, didn't really come together on the military alone, a lot of people are really interested in having something that is uniquely American in terms of Nova capacity for projecting force in defending the world. And we were really trying to put something like that together. Of course, you're under you're not exactly of age for what we were considering right now, but we can move some things around. We really want more. We don't want to be having an image of child soldiers.
Well, no, and I am, I'm at least 19, so.
Yeah, absolutely. I understand. It's something that, we'd have to work it out, make sure that the image is right. But yeah,
Absolutely.
we can
If you
definitely
just
work.
want to, yeah, sorry.
No, go
If you
ahead.
just want to, yeah, if you just want to, if you just want to keep me abreast, like give me, so just send me any of your more, I guess, long-term idea or your ideas. If there are any like prototypes you want me to take a look at, I have my guy from Project Utopia, Alexander. I'm gonna bring him on with this if that's all right. He's kind of our legal everything, blah blah blah.
Certainly, yeah, we can definitely loop in with your representatives.
Cool. I can't wait to hear more. Is there anything else I can do for you while we're in this kind of exploratory phase?
Just keep representing the stars and stripes. Keep showing the world that American Novas are the best.
Absolutely. He's gonna leave. He'll send a message to Alexander just to be like, hey, this is what's going up. This is what they're kind of offering. Of course, my loyalty is to Project Utopia, blah blah blah. But this is something that could benefit both parties. And then anything on the actual animal stuff, I'm gonna try to move. I'm gonna try to move to. In the future, I'm gonna send it to Circuit so that she could wipe any information that could link it back to me or her, and then maybe send it anonymously to Fawn.
Yeah, I think you know that she actually got a lot of that information already when she hacked their systems in the
Oh, okay.
building. So that's a plan that's already underway.
Next time I see Circuit, I will interface with her about that, and then I'm
Cool.
good with my scene. I'll go back to wherever.
All right, sounds good. So yeah, well, where would you want to go next?
I guess I'd go see where the most action was happening, or I'd go to my room just to watch the news.
Okay, all right, cool. So Waterlily, what would Waterlily be up to at NovaCon? Oh, that's right. That's right. You were just milling around and doing stuff.
Yeah, no, it's kind of the opposite. Like in the team time, she's normally like reading her books or studying or catching up on the news and being like this conscientious, responsible student. Because she sort of treats like the Project Utopia as equal parts. This is my job. This is my college. This is everything.
Mhm.
This is vaguely spring break-esque for her. Like
Nice.
she's still very low key because she can't be otherwise,
Mhm.
but like she's on the high end. Like she's smiling, she's entertained, and that's kind of the woohoo girl version of her.
Right. Speaking of woohoo, as you are kind of making your way into one of like the lobby karaoke areas, you hear kind of the perennial call of intoxication, the chorus of woos,
Mhm.
and just like like the chant of shots, 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 and your eye goes to it takes you a little bit to recognize them because they are wearing completely different clothes than they normally do. But you see Tensor on top of the table with like some kind of funnel apparatus into which various bottles are being poured. Their clothing is, like I said, completely different. It's mostly a like full body black bodysuit, but there are like pinpoints of light that seem to be being projected onto and out from the suit, uh, and the colors and the intensity of those lights are just sort of uncanny. Like they don't seem to be like they don't have like the wavelength or the familiarity of any kind of light source that you would recognize from like a light bulb or an LED or anything like that. And they are definitely doing some sort of like stunt drink right now. And there's like a crowd of people just egging them on.
Wow. Yeah, no, this is absolutely. We're
No,
going to stay and
and
watch
I will
whatever
note
this is.
there is not a stitch of Team Tomorrow or Utopia branding on their outfit.
Yep. Like, oh, we are absolutely staying to watch whatever this is.
They finish their shot and like just fall back into the crowd and get caught and just sort of ride that wave for a little bit. It is something to see.
Ooh, interesting. And she starts kind of rethinking of you know what? I don't have to be wearing branding. I know I just told Alexander that we're all representing. Okay, hang on. And like there's this struggle of, do I go back up to the room? Do I try and change? And it's like, at the end of the day, you're still gonna be really green. So probably not, but also good to know. Very good to know.
Eventually, you as you're watching them, you see their head sort of like loll over to you. They buck themselves a little bit, and the crowd just moves them
Mhm.
your way, and eventually deposits them right in front of you. And they just kind of like try and maintain their balance for a little bit, and just sort of move onto your shoulder. Hey, Virginia, how are you? Having a good
Hi.
NovaCon?
It's been really great. It is so neat to see you here.
Oh yeah, no, it's a good time. It's a good time. All this time in the lab, you really kind of get into your own head, and I love that there's something like this. This is just great.
I'll admit I'm amazed. You're so quiet normally. This is really interesting.
Yeah, well, normally I'm dealing with stuff that could probably blow up the city if I do it wrong. So any chance to get a little tension out of the system.
That's fair. No, absolutely. What are you up to now?
Ah, I don't know. I mean, I was hanging out at this karaoke place for a little bit. Hey, you want to do a song?
Yeah, yeah, sure. I'm not
Uh,
saying I'm good because I'm not good.
and they just like point the way, and this like little cloud of pinprick lights just sort of like make a carpet sort of and people like get kind of freaked out by these like lights coming, and the path just sort of goes right up to the stage. And they so what song should we do?
Uh, um, wow. Given that you're, you know what? Given that these really cool lights you're doing, how about we do Counting Stars?
We can do Counting Stars. You like my lights?
I like your lights a lot. I've never seen your
Cool.
lights.
I'm pretty sure that I've got like where am I pulling these from? I think some of them's the Crab Nebula.
Whoa, really?
Yeah.
I, you're amazing. Oh my gosh. I thought everything was cerebral for you, but this is amazing.
I mean, they're really, really tiny, so I can go really, really far without too much power.
I can you make Yes, of course you can make them do designs. I saw you do designs a second ago. So, wow. Uh,
Play the song. And they start to very drunkenly sing the Counting Stars with you.
Excellent. Yes. There yeah, no. Virginia is shocked, amazed, and honestly having a great time. There's that little voice of worry of, oh my god, if Alexander sees Tensor drunk, like this will be a thing, but also, you know what? I intend to stand up for the everybody needs a breather, especially, Tensor. So
Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's cut back to space.
To space. So after a few minutes, actually, you wanted to talk to Fawn for a few moments.
Yeah. So Rant's gonna go over to Fawn. Fawn, you're not doing okay, right?
I'm I'm okay. Go enjoy yourself.
I will, but I want to say that I'm sorry for pushing you to do something that hasn't been a good experience for you.
You don't have to apologize. I made the choice to come. I, so I'm just gonna sit here, and I have my clips in, so I'm going to sit here in this corner or float here, whatever this case might be. I'm just gonna be over here, and you go enjoy yourself.
Okay. Next thing that we do, I want to be something you want to do. All right.
It's, I'm fine. I'm
All right.
fine. I'm
All right.
fine.
I'll
Okay.
believe that.
All right.
Fawn has kind of curled herself into a little floaty ball
Yeah, that's
and
fair.
like
That's what I expected. Yep.
tucked her skirt up under her so she doesn't have like a Marilyn Monroe moment. I'm sure there were several when she first got in there because she wears a very flowy, like meshy skirt. So I have her. She's floating over in a corner, and she's not looking out the window. She has decided that this is not for her, and she is still terrified. But she's like, I'm just gonna be over here where there's a bubble and I can see a wall. I'm not in space. I'm there. There's life around me. I promise.
Yeah, you sort of bounce around for a few moments as sort of like falling into yourself while Rant, do you leave Fawn and go get suited up?
Yeah. At this point, Rant's excitement takes over. Like he's checked on his friend, but now he's gonna go get the suit on and go out into space.
Okay, yeah, he Angelos brings you over. He basically gives you like you don't need to like get like fully naked or anything. He's like let me give you a jacket. Like you need to put this on, and then basically gives you a very nice fitting, tight fitting, but very functional sort of elaborate jumpsuit with these multiple sort of zippers and buckles to sort of overlap and connect. Then he puts a fairly tight sort of cloth helmet over you, like a cough, yeah, like a chainmail cough thing, but
Yep.
it's made of cloth. And then he puts a very slim looking but purely see-through glass. And on the back of this jumpsuit, he once you have it all on, he sort of alters a few things on your back. You have a very like small like life support uh, oxygen tank on your back, and he says you can hear him perfectly even when you put the helmet on, because he's like piping audio through the helmet and the suit, and he like directs you to that you have like a small readout on your arm, that just tells you how much oxygen you have and like where you are in relation to the space station and Earth, that kind of stuff. He's like, okay, so when you get out, I'm gonna put you in the airlock. Open once it's depressurized. You're gonna hit a big green button on the left. It won't open until it's depressurized, so don't worry about that. And then you're gonna take this, and he hands you a little, like he shows you there's a little like clip with a very strong rope attached to it. He's like, clip this onto the side, and this will anchor you to the station, and you can walk along the track that we have laid out for you. Obviously, don't decouple yourself for any reason.
Right.
Understood?
Understood completely. Yes.
Don't worry. If something drastic happens, we have a way of tracking you. Even if you do get decoupled, we can come get you.
Right.
Okay.
Is there any way to take pictures while we're out there?
Oh yeah, sure. Just you can take he actually give me your phone.
Hands him my phone.
Yeah, he basically puts it in a small case. It's another clear case with a small like little black part on the back. He's like, yeah, this should keep it from frying while it's out there.
Right.
You can
Right.
still interface with it. And he hands it back to you. All right, have fun. And he's like directs you towards the airlock.
And Rant goes.
So yeah, the airlock and depressurized. There's that. There is no. The first thing you notice is like once the thing shuts behind you and it starts depressurizing, you don't hear anything. Like it's not like a sci-fi movie. Like you literally don't hear anything. And as everything sort of does, you get the sort of the go signal, and you hit the button. The thing sort of just moves up off to the side, and before you is space, undiluted, all-encompassing, vast space. And you, assuming you hook yourself on,
Yep. I hook on. I start walking out.
yeah, your boots are magnetized. So you still have a weighty, floatless feeling in your body, but you have anchoring to the station itself. Yeah, and you walk out. It's not a very long track, but it's about 5 minutes, and it takes you sort of like a circuitous route around the station, where you get to see not only like all of Earth and the curvature and where you are, but you also get to see parts where it's completely blocking Earth at all, and all you see is stars, just billions of stars across your horizon, your field of vision, I should say, and it's whatever Rant wants to make of that.
Right. Amazing. I've got like 7 selfies along the way at different points. The other thing that Rant's going to think about halfway through is going to be like, sound doesn't travel in space. I wonder if my powers work.
Okay, sure.
And he's going to try to create an illusion.
Okay, sure. First things first. I want you to make just a simple dexterity athletics check for me.
Okay.
You have no mega dex.
I do not. That's right. That's 2 successes.
Okay, you keep your hold of your phone. That's something you weren't
Good.
factoring in, was
Right.
the gloves are a little thicker than you were expecting, and your phone's a little chunkier, and it's a little more awkward. So you're like, okay, I got my phone. I don't let it drift off into the vast nothingness of space. That'd be a hell of a selfie. And so you take your pictures and you try to generate. Then you take a moment, you focus, and you try to generate. You hear something. You're hearing it. You think you're hearing it inside the suit where there's air and material, and a little ways out from you. And you can definitely extend some of that vibration farther, but you're definitely having less of an effect. There, space is actually not empty, everyone. It's just extremely thin. Um, uh, to the point that you can sort of generate stuff. You can generate illusions. You can start bend light and stuff, but sound is much harder for you unless you have some way of getting atoms to vibrate next to each other, essentially.
I don't think Rant's at that level of transcendence yet. So no.
Yeah, sadly, you may have to work on that. But yeah, you're out there for the ticker clocks. After about 5 minutes, though, it's no, I wouldn't say overwhelming, but it's definitely big and empty, and it's amazing. But it's also like this is it. There's nothing else here, and you don't hear anything. You hear your own breathing more than anything else.
Yeah, I think Rant's having a bit of a reflection on earlier when he was powered down from Waterlily, and he's definitely have this moment of like, who am I? What am I about? What is reality? And then he's going to go back because he's like, you know what? Too much thinking. Time to go.
Yeah, you definitely have those a few moments of introspection, and you definitely get to look at Earth and kind of get the size of. You get to see Earth, you get to see space, and you realize in a little bit of a dawns in the back of your head, especially since you're a Terrigen, of like, oh, there's so much more out there for me. Like, there's a universe, there's a galaxy, there's a universe out there for me, and you see for just a brief moment how small the Earth is. And you start making your way back in because thoughts are bad.
Back in the station, Fawn, you're in your little floaty ball, and trying to do your best to block out what's going on around you. And you actually, on a subconscious level, you start to feel better because for some reason you begin to feel more life around you, and it just starts to assuage that anxiety and that terror that you're feeling when an alarm starts to go off in the station.
Oh no.
And
Oh no.
yeah, there's another person comes up and enters into the room with Alessandro. We've got a contamination alarm going. What's going on?
What do you mean? Give me the readout, and starts going to panels.
And it's like it looks like we've got a spike in bacteria and the filters are going crazy. We need to get him out here, and we need to fire this portal back up. I don't want people up here.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
That's fine. Oh, and he looks to you and goes, "Oh, are you doing this?"
I'm sorry.
Okay.
I can't.
All right, it was just something we didn't account for.
I'm
It's fine.
sorry.
It'll be okay. So you hear a message on your way back in, right? It's like, "Hey, sorry, buddy, we gotta cut this short. Fawn is having a bad interaction with our environment."
I'm headed back.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. So you sort of quickly, you try as quickly as you can. You're realizing when you're having to move quickly, that's a very much taller order than just walking because of how the magnet boots work. Just before you get into the airlock, though, something catches your eye off on sort of the periphery of the Earth. You see these odd flashes of light that seem to come from different parts and being off of each other and come back and being off each other, and it's creating sort of this like weird strobe effect on the outer atmosphere of the Earth.
What is that?
Unfortunately, you can't. It's way too far away. You do not have any of the superpowers to be able to understand it, but it's there. It only lasts for maybe 10 seconds, and then it's done.
Well, that was cool. Now let's get back inside.
Yeah, you get back inside. It takes about a minute for the airlock to repressurize. He lets you in. He helps you out of the suit. It's like, yeah, I've had them rev it up. This is gonna eat the last of the power because it needs time to recharge. So, guys, get ready. And
I'm really sorry. I populate life around me. I didn't think it would happen. There wasn't any here. I'm really sorry.
it's all right. We'll have a cleaning. We'll have to take some time to clean it. And you actually can see on some of the paneling, there's a little bit of like mildew and moss like slowly growing across certain surfaces, especially if it's really close to where she was just kind of floating in the bubble. All right, and they type a few buttons and like, all right, guys, go. Bye. Hope you had fun.
We jump through.
Yeah.
Whoop. And the immediate issue is, oh, that's gravity.
Oh yeah, Fawn's on her ass.
Yeah, you guys are just whoop. And yeah, in what was the gentleman's name again, Scott?
Yeah, Cyrus.
Cyrus helps you guys up. It's like, oh, hey. And as he helps you up, the portal sort of blinks out of existence. Like, oh, hope you guys had a good time. Heard there was some issues. Sorry you had to cut it short.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. We didn't understand. It happens when you don't take the thorough like background research and experimentation. It's not the end of the world. It just means we can't have any more comings and goings for the evening.
Fawn frowns.
No. But I had the drinks for you. How was it? Did you Rant, what'd you think? And
It's on his phone, like right now, posting on Instagram and everywhere else. Like it was I'm sad that there was not fun for my friend, but it was amazing.
It always is every time, even now. I've done dozens of these now. And I can't think of a better experience for anyone to do. And he's already directed you over to a small bar, and it's like he's got drinks ready for you guys. And so, you have a wonderful time with him and talking about space travel. You get to know him a little bit more. He is an astronomer, but he's a lot of different things. You know that he is one of the few Novas that can actually go out into space without a suit for limited periods of time.
That's so cool. Question for you. I saw this weird like light reflection like hitting the atmosphere kind of thing, and Rant describes it more effectively. Have you ever seen that? Do you have any idea what it was?
I've seen some things like that. Give me a second. And he pulls out a pad and starts talking, like texting and messaging. Just give me a minute.
And Fawn, somebody actually comes up to you, and she introduces herself as Mary Vikos, and she says, I don't want to intrude, but I heard you had a bit of an issue up there. I was wondering if I might be able to run some things by you. We're actually doing some research regarding terraforming and introducing life into more hostile environments out there. Is there any chance that we could maybe hook up at a later point and maybe do some work? Because I think if you can generate that kind of life and microbiology, that might actually be really helpful in our research.
Sure. She kind of lowers her head like she's ashamed, and she's like, I can't really control it. It just usually happens when I'm scared.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, sure. I mean, any data that we can get regarding that would be very helpful. I think it would be really, really cool to maybe explore. I mean, we don't really have much in the way of, getting powers under control ability, but anything that we can work together on would be really great. She like hands her information.
She'll exchange information with her. Fawn still seems really shaken up. And probably like after that conversation, she's gonna like probably just leave the room. Like This is a bit too much for her. She is overstimmed and completely embarrassed.
Okay. So we'll cut back to Liberty Lad for the time being. So yeah, what would Liberty Lad? You were either going to go back to your room, or you were gonna. What were you going to end up doing?
I mean, I think if there's nothing like, needing his attention, he'd probably just go back to his room and try to relax.
Okay, yeah, you can absolutely get some alone time. You kept up on some news. There's a couple of clips of some chaos that happened at the in the con earlier. Apparently, there was some sort of like water leak that had a big problem. And you can see the images of Schwarzschild and Aterrados in various interactions that got captured by the media.
They're not fighting, they're friendly.
They're not fighting, they're talking.
Yeah.
And you actually catch because these people jump out at you because they're your friends. You get you see an article with Schwarzschild and Sovereign talking at what looks like a maid cafe. And you see like Schwarzschild powered up, like he's clearly glowing. And it's an article from like this very small time kind of like influencer journalist. And they say like, that we tried to get as much of this conversation as we could. There was a lot of interference from Schwarzschild's powers, but we managed to isolate this audio clip. And they show a small audio clip plays along with like, them talking back and forth. And you hear Sovereign, and she seems to be she offers Schwarzschild an invitation to speak with Diva Small.
Interesting.
And as you're looking at that, that website goes down. It stops. It times out, and you can't get that article again.
Interesting.
But that is something you catch while you're sitting and scrolling and checking the news.
Yeah, I'll probably send a text to Schwarzschild, be like, "So Diva Small?" ? And that'll be.
Yeah, we'll deal with that later.
That'll be
Yep.
Yeah, that'll be it for me.
Okay. All right. So Waterlily, down in the hotel lobby with karaoke. Yeah, you have belted out a song or two. Now that people like have seen, oh shit, we've got actual Novas on stage. It's almost like they're not letting you not do karaoke. Like everyone is like buying you new songs to do. And unless you assert yourself, they are going to make the crowd is demanding your presence on the stage.
I think honestly, like Virginia is kind of letting Tensor lead a little bit. Like, one, because she's fascinated by having a new side of their teammate to really engage with, but also again she's still kind of just smitten by the whole thing. So yeah, no, I was about to say it's not gonna be great. It's no performance level, but yeah, no, it's almost like she's back home, like having a beach party and having a good time.
Cool. Yeah, so as we cut, we'll as a Rant and Fawn, you are in one of the elevators coming down from the party. And your eyes are caught by like a weird flashing of light down by the stage. And you see Waterlily on with a Nova that you don't recognize doing karaoke.
Did Rant leave with Fawn? Because Fawn wasn't telling Rant she was leaving.
Oh, okay. So yeah, so then Fawn,
Yeah.
you see Fawn, and that's what you see.
Okay. Fawn kind of watches for a moment and then kind of makes her way towards one of the back green rooms.
Okay.
And Fawn is going to go have a moment in the green room. She is going to go cry in a little ball.
And that's where we'll end it this week. Tune in next time to see where things go from here on Aberrant Atomic Youth. Don't forget to follow the characters on Twitter to see more of the story, and follow Simulacra RPGs for updates on the show and the channel. If you'd like to support the show, you can subscribe to our YouTube and Twitch channels at Simulacra TV, but the best way is to go to patreon.com/Simulacra Studios and become a patron. A big thanks to our $5 and up patrons. You keep the story going, and we couldn't do it without you. Until next time, remember, your legacy is our future.